Everyone, I'm Brian Easterday and welcome back to Eye of the Storm Astrology. So in today's video, I wanted to get into the concept of what I like to call karmic possibility piles, or you know, I might title this, why we are all karmic possibility piles. Well, first off, what is a possibility pile? So this is something that I look at. Kind of just being a homesteader or farming and things like that, on anyone who's ever spent a lot of time on maybe a farm, especially, around here in like the Midwest and, other places where they're doing homesteading and things, there's a tendency to what most people could call acquire and pile up junk, right? For lack of a better term. So there'll kind of be this area of the yard where there's like this junk pile, or most people who don't live that kind of lifestyle would look at it that way. I look at it a little bit differently. I look at junk piles, I call them possibility piles. So there's been many, many times where I've been doing a project, or I'm like in the middle of remodeling a house, or just doing whatever project it is that I have around. There's always something, and I need a part or something, but I don't want to run all the way to town just to get something. And I go back to, like I said, what most people would call their junk pile. And like I said, I look at it as a possibility pile, because it's like, what can I make out of this? How can I reuse it? How can I repurpose it? And then, not only make something that's functioning, but, recycling something, which is a great thing to do. You're saving yourself money. There's all sorts of different reasons why, a homesteader would do that. But we can take that lesson, or, that mindset, and apply it to astrology. So this is why, for those of you who are on the channel, this is probably more of the thing that you're interested in here. And this is why, I look at us as like karmic possibility piles. So what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of times people may have like a really shitty perspective of how they look at their chart, right? They think they have a terrible chart, or, they've got planets debilitated, or, whatever it may be. And they just kind of look poorly on themselves. And if you remember in my, some of my first videos that I did, I talked about, how I don't operate from the mindset that there's any such thing as a bad chart. There may be challenging things, yes, but if there's challenges, there's lessons. Those things go hand in hand. So if you really want to develop yourself as a soul, you have to have challenges. So I don't see that as a bad thing in the chart. Again, it's the mindset that you're approaching astrology with. That's why these first few videos, I'm really taking the time to kind of frame some of my foundational views and the ways I go about actually practicing astrology, because I practice it from, I can't necessarily say a totally different way, but I may be different than a lot of people currently do. I could say that. But when you look at the traditional mindset and things like that, it's a big subject to get into. Either way, though, I like to reframe the way I look at things. We'll just keep it at that. So if most people are looking at a chart, like that, like they're looking at it as like a compost pile or a junk pile, right? Well, as like a farmer, homesteader, you could look at that. I see a compost pile, I get just as excited about as a junk pile, right? There are things I can turn into other things. That compost I know is going to build great, like organic matter and soil, to make everything healthier, and then be able to grow more vegetables. And it's just a cycle that keeps feeding itself. It's a beautiful process. So in the same way, our charts, for this incarnation that we're living, they're like an accumulation many times of a lot of different things, that just like in a junk pile, like, I might have been using this lawnmower at one point or something, right? But something went bad on the engine, but yeah, there's other parts on it. There's blades and wheels and other things. So it just goes over to the possibility pile, right? And then one day I might need to be able to use that thing. Well, in the same way, our experiences, our karmas, those type of things, we go through different lifetimes and even in this one, and we kind of acquire this pile, right? That what may seem like a junk pile. It's like, oh, it's all, all these karmas, all these things that may look like something that you don't really want to deal with. It may look like a mess, all that type of stuff. But if you look at it as a possibility pile, you can go and look at it in a way of, instead of having to experience these karmas from the perspective of, oh, this is punishing me, I don't enjoy this experience, those type of things, you can look at it as, okay, so I might have this disposition, this karma in my in my chart. Sorry. You could go back and look at it in a way like this, like I might have this disposition in my chart, but how can I use that? How can I take what someone else may look at as junk and turn and use it for what it really is, which is possibility, which is potential? That's what we all are. We are all potential and possibility. So when you look at it that way, all of a sudden you can start looking for what you could call the higher expressions of that challenging disposition. How can I take this thing that may appear as a weakness and turn it into a strength? These are, it's a very important thing to learn, but when you can actually shift your mindset like that, like I said, I call it getting out of a victimhood mindset, a feeling like, you're the victim of the universe and you have no say in things or anything like that, to a warrior mindset or a more empowered mindset where you are taking charge of your life in a radical way. So you can look and see, oh yeah, I might have this big possibility pile over here. Great. It gives you a lot of opportunity to be able to use some of those things for different projects, being able to take the skill that, was applied over here in this job at one point. Okay, well, you may have quit that job, you may have put it away and that skill set over the possibility pile, but that doesn't mean later on you can't take it and pull it back out and apply it somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? Okay, the same thing with like the compost analogy, because that's another good one. Seeing that, like how that decay and that breaking down of things is actually what gives the nutrition to fertilize everything, to keep life going. It's this beautiful cycle. So instead of, where a lot of people could see, oh, hey, that's a pile of compost, or, that's a big pile of shit, right? The farmer looks at it, it's like, oh, no, that's nutrients. That's future soil. That's trees that are going to grow. They see the potential. They see the possibility. So instead of looking at ourselves like, oh, we're such a piece of junk, look at yourself as a karmic possibility pile. See the potential that's really there. And then when you have that awareness, awareness creates choice. You then have the choice to find the higher expressions of those places in your chart, to identify those challenges and work through them, work with them, and be able to use them to your advantage, because those experiences are there for a reason. So there's a lesson there. Nothing's there in your chart to punish you. It's there to teach you. So when we're practicing this sacred science of Jyotish, we really need to approach it with the right mindset, because the way you're approaching that science is the way you're approaching yourself and others and all the interactions that you have in which you're using this science as a tool. You're creating that foundational filter through which to gauge things through, and you're using this tool as a way of which to gauge reality. So you have to make sure that you're not looking at or using the tool in a fundamentally skewed way, because then all of your results that follow that, all of your conclusions, will also be skewed. So those of us that practice astrology, especially those of us that are giving consultations to others, I think we need to be very careful and have a lot more respect for what we're really doing and the mindset that we're bringing to things. And instead of just telling people that, oh, you have this junk pile in your chart. No, you have a possibility pile. So, that'll sum that up. I think that makes it, nice and clear. So just a quick little thing I wanted to do, but you can take this take that mindset and apply it to any area of your life. Everything I like to teach, I like to make it universal. If it's not something that can be universal, like, applied, and that doesn't mean you have one approach to everything, but good lessons, good truth, they should be able to be seen in every different situation. So hopefully that's something that you guys can carry forward with you and apply to help improve your life. So thank you for tuning in. If you want to get a consultation from me, still don't have the website quite done. There's a few things I'm doing with it still. In the meantime, if anyone is interested, you can shoot me an email at eyeofthestormastrology@gmail.com. And if you happen to be viewing this video later on down the road, well, check out eyeofthestormastrology.com. And if that's up and going, then, well, you're viewing it later after I got the website done. So either way, those are the places that you can get a hold of me. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you have a great day.